Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening for everybody. So this is going to be just a program where we're going to share our opinion about the specific topic, and this was coordinated by Mindlizam and Tasbih Media and the World Forum for Sri Lankan Muslims. So I just wanted to be this program to be gone on a, how do you say, very friendly manner, where I wanted you guys to introduce everybody. And as you guys know, this program will be conducted by me. My name is Zamrud Hatun Sherifdeen, and I work for University of Suffolk, United Kingdom, as assistant psychologist and a life mentor. So yeah, I would like to introduce all of you. And apart from that, we have another person who's going to help me on all this conducting the event. His name is Shahir, and he will be reading all your questions, as well as he will also be unmuting and helping you and me in the event. So can we start introducing everybody? It's going to be an informal chat. It's going to be just a normal chat, where you can share all your information with me and talk to me about lockdown and mental health of young children and their parents. So that's going to be the area we are going to talk about, and how you guys feeling, and I will share my information, my experience as well. Anyway, yeah, can we start? Somebody have raised his hand and then stop. Can you raise your hands to introduce yourself? Hasmat Fatima first, and then I will unmute everybody. You can unmute yourself and speak. Hasmat?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, how are you? And can you introduce yourself and can start talking about introduce yourself to me?
Okay, Hasmat is my sister.
Okay.
Okay, I am very fine. She is sister name Hasmat Fatima. She is
Now you can introduce yourself. You don't have to introduce your sister because she's not here, right?
Okay. My name is Ihjas. I am from Sri Lanka and living from Indore. I am 22 years old.
Right. And do you like to say anything? What do you expect from this event?
What, madam?
What do you expect from this event? Do you expect anything from this event? It's going to be a chat. So you're going to share your experience of this lockdown, since you also belongs to that age group. Okay. So yeah, I'll speak to you again, when we start talking. And the other person is Azra. I have unmuted her. Can you speak, Azra?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah, can you introduce yourself? Your name is Aska, isn't it?
Yes.
Aska. Sorry for my bad pronunciation. Well, yeah. Let me know who are you and how old are you? What do you expect from this event and things like that?
My name is Aska. I am in Kotnagala. My school is Kuhamidiya Muslim Mahavidyalaya.
Right. So, is your parents also been here? Can they hear you what you are speaking, or they are not online? Aska? Okay, Aska has unmuted herself. The next one is called Fari Rifa, right? So I will unmute her. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, you from?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Fatima Rizna.
Okay.
I'm fourth year student of University of Peradeniya.
Right.
I'm 24 years old.
Right. What you study, Rifna?
I'm Tamil special.
Sorry, dental specialist.
Tamil special, arts
Oh,
faculty.
Tamil special. Okay, that's
Yes, ma'am.
nice. Okay. So do you expect anything from this chat event? Okay, not really, I guess, isn't it? Okay. Is there anybody who wanted to introduce yourself? I mean, I would like to introduce, like, get introduced with everybody. Where I prefer, like, other people to, like, raise their hands and come front and like speak to me. So somehow, like, it's very rarely like English audience speaks, isn't it? There's somebody called N. I don't know what's your name, by the way. I will unmute you and like let me know who are you and what do you, how old are you? And I unmuted you.
Hi.
Hello. I unmuted you. You can unmute yourself and speak. Hello?
Hello. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm Nihara and I'm 23 years old.
Right.
Currently studying accounting.
Okay.
I just want to know how this is going to work. Like, what's the process and what are you going to talk about?
Yeah, it's actually what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give some ideas about how young people faces this like this lockdown situation, like how mentally how much they are, that impacts on their like mentality and how it can affect in their future as well as like how it affects present as well. Usually, like as psychologists, we only speak about like the present thing, like what is like what impact people have on like at that moment, and then what can like make it in the past will be like something different we will be speaking later on. So usually we speak about the present, we think about present, so that's what we are going to do today. So mostly what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like normal like general psychological effects of lockdown and being isolated and on all kind of information, and then like what's my experience. Like as I told you, like I'm not very old to like say like talk on at that age. I'm like normal age person, so kind of like I'm going to say like what are the impact we had when we had a lockdown last year, how I have to face my children's problems, how I have to face my husband and my family issues. What are the problems we had, and our surroundings, and like our clients. I mean, like my service users had. What are the issues they had? My as you guys know, I have like um, I have my service users worldwide. So then they says different things to me. So that's what I'm going to say about it. And I'm going to chat with you all. What are your ideas and how that affect yourself? Personally, we are going to talk about it to everybody. So I guess this is going to be, I really wanted to encourage you all to like speak to me, open up. You can raise your hand at any time and I will like, unmute you, right? So it's free space to speak. Now think about like, you're going to speak to somebody. I will not judge you. I will not say anything bad about you. I will not say anything. I just look at what you say and like, I just speak according to that. And I will introduce psychological aspect of those things. Okay, if anybody else wanted to introduce yourself and like, anybody else? Ready? No? There's nobody to like, raise their hands. Anyway, okay. So we'll start maybe maybe it will give more courage to speak to me like when I start talking about what is lockdown and mental health, and then what are the impacts on children and their parents. So normally when you talk about mental health, it's everybody have to maintain their mental health normal condition. You have to maintain your mental health. So this coronavirus, coronavirus, due to coronavirus, mostly young people are affected by mental health issues, especially children and young people are they couldn't enjoy their school, their friends, and it's a new thing. Usually when it comes to children means like what I was saying is like people who are very vulnerable when circumstances changes. These people are very vulnerable, especially like people like at the age of like kind of what do you say, like 5 years or 6 years, you take around that age. And then from there to 22 to 25 years till they start working. So some people, they become matured when they are 18 years. Some people, they become matured after they start work, or they got married, they have children. That age only some people become that maturity, achieve that maturity. Till that, they are treated as that age, child age. So these people only I'm going to talk about. So kind of when you are are said announce this coronavirus outbreak, and then you have to keep away from school, and then you have to away from your friends, and then you have to face your family problems sometimes because your parents will be at home. They've been having their own problems, and you have to see that you would have not seen that when you were going to school and colleges and work and things like that. Now you might be seeing that. And then you might be seeing a lot of loss in lives, people have been lost their life and all kind of other problems. So these things makes lots of effect on these children's mental health issues, mental health. As well as how do you see this as well? They have to deal with the very self-isolation, kind of sometimes even a small thing, they will the society will say, come on, you got a cough, you got a what is that, you got a cold, you got a temperature. All these things are happen to us early as well, but we never bothered about it. But now we are people are extra bothered about it. They were saying, no, I mean, I'm scared of you. I can't look at you. I'm scared. I have to stay away from you. And even if we had once me, we were not allowed to go to supermarkets and everything, as a family. We have to go one person to a supermarket. So once I went to a supermarket, when I have a dust around me, I sneeze. So I started sneezing in the supermarket. And this person next to me, he went away. It was the first time I had to face that thing. Come on, he's scared of me. He's kind of he's kind of very vulnerable to look at you even. So people are worried about so many things, passing on to your virus to everywhere, and they're scared of getting other people's virus, and we are scared of getting their virus to us. So these are things concerns we have the young children. I mean, if we as an adult we feel lots of things, And if you're a young child or like, a teenager or kind of like a person like who goes to college or like, just started work, you'll be very much like vulnerable to all those problems. So like, for these things, like as a parent, what we have to do is we have to give support to those children. And then you might be like, all whoever I spoke to you all today are young people. So as young people, you need to support your like, family members as well as you look after yourself, and also younger people and older people. So you need to like, you have a duty of like, expressing what you feel about like, all these things, as well as you have to accept other people's like feeling as it is. Don't judge their feelings. Don't like, don't laugh or like, look at them as, come on, they are very inferior. They are like that. Don't look at that. And things like that. So these are things that I have to say. So I am going to say like some tips how you support these people. So if you're a parent or something, you need to listen to your child. First, what you have to do is you need to give a what is that idea that you are there for them, and you will look after them, you will listen to them, and you will hear them, kind of what you say. You will hear them about their problem, and you will not judge them. First thing, you will not judge them. And there is space. If they wanted to like, talk, you are there. So you have to give that guarantee to them. The other thing is, you have to go and like, sit with them and support them when they are in a difficulties, going through the difficulties. Because when these children, as a parent, I'm going to say like what parents could support. So these children, I'm saying like children means like, the one like teenagers, and then young people, young children, and then also like, early adults. Early adults are like kind of like up to 25 years old. Sometimes like early adults goes like 30 years, up to 30 years. So these people, what happens is if they are not married or if they don't have like, properly got into the jobs, they are very vulnerable, and they are emotionally affected by these coronavirus breakdowns. So how do you say, like you have to give a lot of attention and like, on their emotional changes and behavioral changes, and also help them to work through their difficulties. Again, we're going to like, talk about like, again, how to like, face the challenges, like how, if your behavior has been changed or something, how to come out of that. All those things we have to speak about, and we will be speaking as well, like, after I spoke to you guys, I will be speaking to you all as well. So these are things we have to, and then stay involved in with their lives. So how do you do is like, you identify when people are at home, there's no work to do. There will be loads of clashes, and like, the mind will not stay on a place and think about like, what they wanted to think. All the minds will like, they will be like, running up and down and thinking about, no, this is not good for me. My life is like, disaster. This is not, I'm not a useful person. All kind of things. These minds will like, create a like, create the shield and like started to think about it. So we have to help these people. We have to help these people to spot their problems, and then we have to sit with these people and support them. That's again, we have to say. That's kind of like, when you have a problem, you have to shed the light. That's what we say. And the other one is encourage their interests. So if you are a person like, if you are an active learner or an active creator, or like, if you want to learn something new, the family has to encourage you to like, work on that. So these things you have to do. The other one is whatever people are saying, you need to take it as serious and don't make it as like, funny thing or like something like that. Don't like, ignore like people's feelings, and don't judge their feelings, and then don't kind of like, you have to value their like, feelings and behaviors, and respect that. That's what we have to do. And the next one is build a positive routine where you eat and exercise and good night's sleep. So all these things you have to do it. Like earlier, all the children and like parents, they would have like had their like own work, and like all the things are scheduled. Now there's nothing scheduled. So you are at home, there's no much work. We online class, whether you wanted to like, participate or not, it's up to you. All kind of things are there. Lots of flexibilities are there. So we have to like fit onto our routine, and it has to be healthy, and you have to eat healthy. Now, when you stay at home, it's easy for us to eat like junk food, like fried ones, sweets. And if you don't have anything to do, I mean, if I don't have anything to do, I make cake. So, which is the nasty habit of mine. And it's not nice thing to do. Like, you feed your family cake, end up you end up like, feeding sweets again. So once in a way you do that, it's fine. But if you start doing it like, every day, that's not a nice thing to do. So things like that, find the like, right exercise, find right eating habits, and like good night sleep. Of course, like, nowadays, like if you don't like, if you like don't have enough work all the night, like, people used to watch movies. I get calls even like, from Sri Lanka around like 12 o'clock, which is not nice. And yeah, we have to worry about all those things. So we'll see like, what you guys think about like all these things. Would you like to like raise your hands and say, how would you like it? How would you like, feel about it? Does anybody like to like raise your hands and say anything about it? There's a personal message. What is it?
They're asking to speak in Tamil.
Asking to speak in Tamil. This is actually an English program. So how am I supposed to speak in Tamil? If you want to speak in Tamil, I can answer in Tamil. Okay? Is that fine? I thought like, yeah.
Maybe it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind like, speaking in Tamil. Somebody called Hasmat Fatima has raised hand. Can you unmute him? Unmute Shahir.
Okay. Hello, madam.
Hello. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. I am from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Okay. I have a small problem.
If you want to speak in Tamil, I don't mind answering you.
Okay. எனக்கு என்ன சின்ன பிரச்சனை ஒன்று இருக்குது மேடம், பேசலாமா? இல்ல ஓகே. என்னன்னு சொன்னா, தூங்கும் போது அதாவது தூங்க டைம் இல்லையோ தூக்கம் வரல, ஹெட் ஏச் மாதிரி இருக்கிற. நெஞ்சுக்குள்ள படபடக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கிற, கை நடுக்க மாதிரி இருக்கிற, அப்படி சின்ன பிரச்சனைகள் இருக்குது. அதுக்கான என்ன என்ன சொல்ல இல்லம்மா?
யூஸ்வலா அப்படியான பிரச்சனைகள் என்னத்துக்கு வருதுன்னு சொல்லி
ஓ எஸ் எஸ் எஸ்
அப்படி
எஸ்.
டிரெக்டா சொல்ல முடியாது ஹஸ்மத்.
ஓகே
எப்படின்னு
ஓகே.
சொன்னா நார்மலா என்ன நடக்கும்னு சொன்னா நீங்க உங்களுக்கு என்னத்துக்காக அப்படி வர்றதுன்னு நீங்க தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண வேண்டிய ஆள். அப்படி இல்லாட்டி நீங்க ஒரு சைக்காலஜிஸ்ட போயிட்டு அவங்க வந்து ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுவாங்க நார்மலா. ஆனா
ஓகே
ஆனா வந்து இப்ப நீங்க ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்றேன்னு சொன்னா நீங்க இப்ப யோசிங்க, ஏன் எனக்கு அப்படி ஒரு டிஃப்ரெண்டா வருது, அப்படி எனக்கு சும்மா வர தேவையில்ல தானே, ஏன் அது
அதான்.
டிஃப்ரெண்டா வருது. அப்ப அது வாரத்துக்கான காரணம் ஒன்று வந்து எனக்கு பயமா இருக்கா, அப்படி இல்லைன்னு சொன்னா எனக்கு வந்து தூங்குறதுக்கு விருப்பம் இல்லையா, இந்த படப்படப்பெல்லாம் வாரது நார்மலான ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லைன்னு. இப்ப சிலவங்களுக்கு என்ன நடக்கும்னா தூக்கம் வராது, ஃபுல்லா தூக்கம் வராது, விளங்கிட்டு தானே. அப்ப படபடப்பா இருக்கு, பிறகு நீங்க வேற நிறைய விஷயங்கள் சொன்னீங்கன்னு, அதெல்லாம் வந்து நார்மலான ஒரு விஷயம் இல்ல. அப்ப நீங்க வந்து ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணணும், ஏன் எனக்கு அது தூங்கிக்கல வருது சொல்லி ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணணும். அப்படி உங்களுக்கு ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண கஷ்டம் சொன்னா நீங்க ஒரு சைக்காலஜிஸ்ட போயிட்டு அவங்கக்கிட்ட கன்சல்ட் பண்ணி ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்றது உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா இருக்கும்.
ஓகே, தேங்க் யூ.
You're welcome. Somebody has asked like whether I could share your number to somebody. So, well, yeah, you can share my number to that person. Can we share that specific
number is mentioned
folder
in the flyer?
Yeah, the number is on the flyer, this flyer as well. Yeah, this flyer as well. You can find the number in this flyer, as well as we have like something called Relax Your Mind. So where you can what do you say? You can call us and send a message like voice recording, and then if it's like necessary, I'll call you and speak about it. Otherwise, I will send you a message suitable to your question. Okay, that's fine, right? Okay, I am not a doctor, I am a psychologist, right? Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. Well, okay, if there's anybody else wanted to chat about it or talk about something, if this is kind of like something you guys really don't want to speak about English, you can let me know as well, so I can speak in Tamil a bit and English, kind of I can share both languages. Somebody called Fatima has raised her hand. Fatima, I have unmuted you, Fatima.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister, I'm a mother. I have 2 kids, and this regarding my son, I'm asking you. He's 11 years old.
I can't hear you very well, Fatima. Would you mind
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Speak a bit louder. Yes, okay. I can hear you now.
No, actually, he's 11 years old, and right now during this current situation, I'm having a lot of problems with him. To tell you frankly, he's getting too much angry, and he feels to have more screen time and playing with toys.
How old is your son, by the way?
He's 11, ma'am. 11 years old, 11 plus now. So playing toys in the sense, he tends to, since small days. Hello, ma'am, can you hear me? Hello.
Please wait for a moment.
Oh, I can't hear you very well.
Really? Okay, one second.
Yeah, can you
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you very well now. Can you repeat it? Like you said, like he's becoming angry. And how old is he?
He's 11 plus, ma'am, now.
Okay.
And
So
usually his nature is he wants to play with toys. Toys in the sense he has this habit of taking a car and driving like on the floor.
yeah, that's a nice thing to do.
He likes to do that. It's like even the whole day, even he wants to, he prefers playing only that.
Okay.
Or outdoor activities also. But connection with books and all, he doesn't like to have, ma'am. Like even the schoolwork.
Well, some children are like that. You can't expect children to like study every time. Nowadays, like what happened is like nowadays, especially in Sri Lanka, you guys expect children to study long time, which is too much for them and very hard to manage their like mental health, I would say.
Yeah.
But
No,
yes, they have to have a balance of studying and like, studying as well as, yeah.
Yeah,
You
ma'am.
wanted
Now
to
for
say
him,
something.
usually what I do is even like I don't pressurize him to do also, but it's like even the whole day I fear, don't know whether playing with the car like that, is it okay? Is it normal for a child to play even at this age, ma'am? Since small days, like he has been playing, that is his
Yeah.
usual play.
It is
Is it
normal for them to
normal?
play. Yes, it's normal for them to
Even
play.
though,
Yeah. Some children like still like to like, some children means like um when I was going to university, I had a like, boy who is
okay,
I mean, he was my like, one of the person like who was studying with me. And he
okay,
was, I think, 25 years old. And he
okay.
loved to have like, cuddly toys. And he
Really?
carried that in his like, bag. So,
No, really, I feared. That is why, ma'am. Seriously, like
so, I
because
mean, it's a normal thing for him. It's not a, like abnormal thing for him. He's like, in his like, bag, like kind of a keychain. Nowadays, it's fashion to like,
yeah,
have a
they
keychain
they
on your
take
bag.
key tags and all. Yes.
Yeah. So this person have a cuddly toys, tiny cuddly toys, which he had made sometimes, and other ones are like he has bought. All those things hangs every day, hangs like different thing. And he showed me a picture of his bed, like, there's cuddly toys on his bed, and he sleep with that since. So I like, when I spoke to him, I never saw any difference on his behavior or like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything different from his behavior, which is normal. What happens
Okay.
is some children, they connect with different things. Do you
Yeah.
understand, Fatima?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
some children connect with different things, which can be like, very close to their heart. They would have like, I can remember my son, like, he's now still like, 11 and a half years, my son is. So
So that
my
is the
son
same
have
age
a like
then.
time, sorry?
He's the same age then, ma'am.
Yes, same age. So
Yeah.
he has a tiny cars. So in his pocket, in his like,
Yeah, he tends
in
to
his,
carry. Yeah,
yeah,
he
he
tends
used
to
to
carry.
carry that. When
Yes,
he
ma'am.
was
Same
small,
here.
he used to carry that.
Now also he
Now,
carries.
sorry?
Now also he carries in his pocket
Your
a tiny
son
car.
carries that.
Yes, yes.
But sometimes like he might like it. That's why he's carrying, I think, Fatima.
Okay,
Don't take it
sure.
as serious. Just ignore it.
Okay,
Sometimes,
ma'am.
after
Sure.
sometimes, when he become like an age, like he's fed up of that, he will leave it. So
Inshallah,
don't worry
inshallah.
about like what he's playing. I
Yeah,
would
like
say, sorry,
at this age, getting angry, is that
it's
also
not
a
a
normal
normal
sign?
thing. Yeah. If we
Too
see
much
it like,
angry, ma'am.
sorry.
Getting too much angry at this age, like no angry in
So
the sense, if I tell him not to do that now, like will we have some other work, we'll do it, no, because he doesn't like to connect himself with painting or any of those things. This is the only game he loves to play, or outdoor riding cycle, playing badminton, those type of things.
That's a nice thing to do.
But I really feel very scared when he gets very angry, ma'am.
So how does he behave when he get angry?
No, he gets like he goes red, and his fists are so tight. Sometimes I feel if he can hit me, he can do that type of thing. He hasn't raised his hand, alhamdulillah.
Okay.
But his anger, I really fear, ma'am. It's like too much.
How often in a week? In a week, how often he will become angry?
He gets angry even with his little sister. If she takes his things when he's playing, he cannot tolerate. Like even anything when he's studying, when he's playing or anything, he raises his hand to her.
Right.
He hits her
Is it
so
new
hard.
or during after
No,
lockdown?
not after the lockdown. He has been having it for some time, like recently, maybe 1 or 2 years.
Maybe, do you speak Tamil?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I speak Tamil.
So tomorrow we are having anger management, and
Okay,
you can join that event, and you can see what are the symptoms and how you can come out of it. All kind of information I will be giving you. So you can, barakallah khair. Inshallah, you can come out of.
Inshallah, ma'am, definitely, inshallah. Because I feel I want him to come out of that, inshallah, because that's what I feel.
Kind of don't put lot of rules on him. Kind of be calm, and you become calm and you maintain your mental health correctly. So he will start following you, and it's a normal thing. Like siblings, they used to fight in this age. Okay, don't take it as serious. Don't take it as personal. It's a very normal thing, and it's very healthy thing as well.
Yeah, no, but sometimes the way he hits her, like I don't know, something.
You need to sit and talk to her and explain him like how painful it is when he is calm. So that would be helpful. But make sure don't put loads of rules on him. Keep it on a calm stage for him. Like all the things are calm and quiet and nicer. And I love him to play. I love him to play a lot. It's a nice thing to play. When you play, only people will become creative, and also they become very active. So I love him to do that as well.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Can we unmute Hafsa? Jazakallah khaira for speaking, Fatima.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you speak a bit louder, please?
Yeah, ma'am, the thing is, my neighbor wants to talk about her daughter.
I can't hear you very well. Sometimes, yours is very tiny sound. So you need to talk to me in a louder voice.
The thing is, my neighbor wants to speak about her daughter.
Yes.
And she can speak in Tamil. Let her speak.
Okay. Yeah, she can speak to me in Tamil. No issues at all.
Yeah, I'll give to her.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
எனக்கு பிள்ளைகள் 5 பேர் இருக்கிறாங்க. அதுல 3 பேருக்கு ஃபிட் வருது. மூத்த பிள்ளைக்கு 13 வயசு. 1.5 வயசுக்கு பிறகு ஃபிட் ஒன்றும் வர இல்ல. நான் மருந்து கொடுக்க இல்ல. இப்ப 2 வருஷமா வருது. அவ இந்த முந்தி இருந்த ஆக்டிவ் எல்லாம் குறைவு. வெக்யூம் டெலிவரி.
நீங்க மெடிக்கல் டாக்டர்கிட்ட போயிட்டு பார்த்தீங்களா உங்களோட பிள்ளைக்கு?
நான் காட்டினேன். அப்ப அவங்க சொன்னாங்க இப்ப சைக்காலஜி டாக்டர் கிட்ட காட்ட சொல்லியண்டு. அவ பிள்ளைகளோட சேர்ந்து விளையாட மாட்டா. மனசு ரீதியா ஒரு யோசனை மாதிரி இருக்குது. என்னன்னு கேட்டா எங்கள்கிட்ட பொதுவா சொல்றாவும் இல்லை.
ஓகே. ஸோ மேபி நீங்க என்ன செய்யுங்கன்னு சொன்னா, நாங்க இப்ப கடைசி இந்த ஈவெண்ட் முடியல நாங்க ஒரு ஃபிளையர் ஒன்று இது போஸ்ட் பண்ணுவோம். அந்த ஃபிளையர்ல நீங்க என்ன செய்யுங்கன்னு சொன்னா இருக்கிற நம்பருக்கு நீங்க மெசேஜ் போடுங்க. ஓகே,
அடுத்தது இன்னொரு பிள்ளை இருக்கு,
சொல்லுங்க.
2ஆம் ஆண்டு பிள்ளை. அவவும் இந்த கேட்டு நாடினா பயப்படுவா, போல் விளையாட மாட்டா, போல் சுத்த போக்குள்ள எல்லாம் பயம். பிள்ளைகளோட விளையாட்டுல பொதுவா அந்த ஆணி இரும்பு துண்டுகள் அதுல வச்சுக்கொண்டு விளையாடுவோம். யாரு சரி வீட்டுக்கு வந்தாங்கன்னா பிள்ளைகளோட அந்த ஓடி போய் ஒளிஞ்சிடுறா. என்னன்னு கேட்கல, எனக்கு பயம் என்று ஒளிஞ்சு கொள்ளுவா. எங்க சரி ஒரு மூலையில போய் ஒளிஞ்சு கொள்ளுவா, விளையாட வர மாட்டா. ஆனா எந்த நேரம் கையில தொடப்பு தான் வச்சு கொண்டிருக்கிறா. சரியானவே கதை கூட.
ஓகே, இன்ஷால்லா நீங்க என்ன செய்யுங்கன்னு சொன்னா நான் ஒரு நம்பர் ஒன்று தருவேன் தானே, அந்த நம்பருக்கு நீங்க பேசுங்க. சரியா? அப்ப பேசுனீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு பர்சனலா உங்களோட பிள்ளோட என்ன பிரச்சனைன்னு பார்த்து அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி நாங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு சொல்யூஷனுக்கு வரலாம்.
இன்னொரு பிள்ளை இருக்கு, 2 வயசு பிள்ளை. அவரும் இந்த விளையாட்டு சாமான் ஒன்றும் எடுத்து விளையாட மாட்டாரு. அடுத்து இந்த கூப்பிட்டாலும் அதுக்கு இந்த ரிப்ளை குறைவாதான் இருக்குது. இந்த நேரம் கத்தி கத்தி அங்கே ஓடி விளையாடுறது அவரோட வேலை. பேச்சு எல்லாம் குறைவு.
பாப்போம் அவங்களோட பிள்ளைகள் எல்லாருடைய விஷயமும் நீங்க அதுல நீங்க போடுங்க, ரெக்கார்டிங் போடுங்க. ரெக்கார்டிங் போட்டீங்கன்னு சொன்னா ஒரு பிள்ளைய நம்ம பாப்போம் என்ன செய்யறேன்னு சொல்லி, அவங்களுக்கு என்ன பிரச்சனை இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி பாப்போம். ஓகே ஓகே, barakallah khair. Can you unmute R Sundar please? You can unmute yourself and speak.
Hello ma'am, I want to speak Tamil.
Okay, Tamil பேசுங்கப்பா.
டாக்டர், எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் கோபம் அதிகமா, நான் 15 years old தான். எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் கோபம் அதிகமா வருது, அதை கட்டுப்படுத்த கொஞ்சம் முடியுது இல்ல.
ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு கோபம் ஏன் வருது?
ஏன் அந்த ஏதாவது எரிச்சல் பண்ற மாதிரி ஏதாவது நடந்து கொண்டாங்கண்டா, இல்லாட்டி எனக்கு பிடிக்காத விடயங்கள் ஏதாவது செஞ்சாங்கண்டா, நான் சொல்லுவேன், அதை பத்தி அவங்க மீன் பண்ண இருந்தா அது மூலியமான கோபம் வரும். ஆனா அதை கட்டுப்படுத்த முடியாது. உடனே நான் வெளிக்காட்டிடுவேன். அதை வெளிக்காட்டினோடனே எதிரில் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு அவங்கள கொஞ்சம் மனதை புண்படுத்துற மாதிரி போய் சேர்ந்துடும். அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் இது வருத்தப்படுவேன்.
ஓகே, யூஸ்வலா அது அப்ப அந்த இஷ்யூக்கு வந்து நீங்க என்ன செய்யலாம்னு சொன்னா, நாளைக்கு நாங்க அங்க மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் செய்யறோம். கோபத்தை எப்படி கட்டுப்படுத்துற, கோபம் வராம எப்படி பார்த்துக்கொள்ற, என்ன கோபத்தோட காரணங்கள் என்ன, இது மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள் நாங்க பேசுவோம். அப்ப அதுக்கு வந்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா அதுல வந்து நீங்க நிறைய விஷயங்களா அறிந்து கொள்வீங்க. ஓகே,
thank you.
That's fine. Okay, you're welcome. That's all. I think nobody want to speak now. They prefer to speak in Tamil. No, Shahir. Okay, so is there anybody who would like to join and speak in English? Nusra, yeah, can unmute her.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Nusra.
Hello. Yeah,
I'm Nusra. I'm connecting from Doha.
Okay, how are you, Nusra?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. This is regarding my daughter. She's going to be 11.
Okay.
Because we are having so many instructional technologies now. From her childhood, she's fond of using the technologies much.
Yes.
So nowadays, after the COVID situations, the education and everything on technologies, isn't it?
Yes.
So I used to say after school, she can have like 1 hour time, no problem. But I used to limit her device time. But when as a parent, when we are trying to do that, she's showing some withdrawal syndromes, and especially she is nowadays threatening that she will do something. She is not worth enough to live. She will do any harms to herself, and she is always complaining us that we are not caring her, we are not spending time enough to her, and also she is not not like my second daughter or the other children. She's not involved in family matters. She's
So
not
how old
involved
is
in.
how old is she? You said
She is just 10 class.
10 class, and
Yeah.
is she your oldest child?
Yeah, oldest child. And this is the thing. We used to give time for her to device also, but we want her to use it wisely on only on leisure time. But the thing is, leisure time is dragging only that productive time very less from her. She's thinking that she don't want to learn any skill. I used to give small shows that she's thinking that I am dominating her or something like that. Maybe nowadays she is reducing the connection with me, and slowly she is trying to isolating herself with the devices, or and she is nowadays threatening me that she will harm herself. She don't want to live. Sometimes she says, but I am always crying, why I should live like this, like that, and all. She is complaining. Regarding
So,
this, I want
yeah.
your advice. Yeah.
Usually what happens is when people are addicted to something, they try to threat you and get things done.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yes.
You know that. If somebody is like addicted to alcohol,
yeah,
they will threat you. And then
yeah,
if you are not doing, I will do this. They will
yeah,
threat you, and they will self-harm you, harm
yeah,
themselves, self-harm.
yeah,
So these are
yeah,
normal things, like, when people are addicted. And nowadays what happens is technology, as you said, like technology was like, have a very huge impact. And then we do have like lots of trouble with technology.
yes,
Than like advantages, we find very hard with technology. There are like, we see like, we nowadays, like, there's quite a lot of like name called gadget syndrome, that syndrome, this syndrome.
yeah.
All
Even
kind
difficult
of,
to understand, ma'am. Sometimes
yes.
even her emotions are like roller coaster. Early morning, she's waking very grumpy, and after sometimes, if she didn't get devices, she started fighting with siblings. It's not just fights. She always comparing herself with the younger ones. She's thinking that we are not giving attention to her, but as a parents, we are trying to give the best for them. That's why we moved to Doha and living here with all the hardships. She's not understanding those things.
No,
Maybe
she's
too
very
small.
small too.
Yeah, too small too
Too
small to
small to understand all those
understand.
things.
Yeah, but I
However,
used.
what you can do is, I can understand what you are trying to say anyway. Like, what you can mostly do is like, if you're really concerned about her device, like, how she's handling her device and everything, what you can do is like, you can go to like my YouTube channel, which is like, Mindlizam YouTube channel, and that is like how to handle the parenting, positive parenting, and how to handle people who are like, addicted to gadgets.
Okay.
So you can listen to that and like, find there are like quite a lot of solutions you can find and change your habits, and then your children's habit. There are lots of things to do. So
Okay.
usually when you see like, as a positive parent, what you see is we change ourselves to like, fit to our children.
Yeah.
Did you
We
get
want to change the environment, not the plant, isn't it?
Yes. So what you do is like, as a parent, you change yourself. Now earlier, I also like, I had like, my family. As I told you, my child is, my older one is like 11 plus 11, that age. So when there was like, there was no lockdown, we like, when we started homeschooling. So we have to like give this much of gadget, and which is good for their eyes, which is not good for their eyes, and which is not good for their mental health and like brain work and things like that there. So what we do is like, at the beginning we had a time to sit with them, kind of like 2 weeks, me and my husband, we sit at home and we scheduled our time according to their time. So we worked for them. We sit down like 1 hour if he's like on screen, 1 hour if he has on screen, at least half an hour he should have break. He have to go out and play. Okay. And if we have like more than 3 hours screen time, which is like school work screen time, what we do is he has to do some housework. Kind of like we scheduled all those things where he housework in the sense he has to put his underclothes to wash. Okay.
Yeah, that is
now
what we give, like small shows.
Yes,
not a big deal.
Kind
They
of
can
like
learn.
cleaning his room, keeping his room clean, put his bed sheets on, things like that. Very small things, and put like his siblings. Now again, like these children will become very selfish if you only ask his work or her work. So you need to say like you need to like today we are going to have a teamwork. So we have to sit down and like clean all the toys and arrange it nicely, which is your toys and your sister's toys and brother's toys. Like that you have to say all together. Everybody have to collectively work, and you have to work as well. It's not you sit and ask them to work. You have to work as well. And your
I
husband.
always wonder
And
maybe,
again, your
maybe
husband
my
as well.
approach is wrong, or what is happening here. Those complex
things like that, you have to slowly start. If you do today and leave a break, that will not work. You have to like do it on a like regular basis every day. Every day, and spend time with them at least 15 minutes. Sit and talk. At least 15 minutes. It can like
we
go
give
up to
time,
1 hour, 1.5 hour.
But to be frank to you, we give time to them. We take them outside. We can't go to restaurants or the parks, but we go long drive just to talk to them. As a parent,
we have made a like a kind of rituals kind of things. We have to talk to the children to go out. We have to go to restaurant to entertain them. We have to like give a present, big present that will work for them. Things like that we have done like that. I mean, it's not just you and me also. We have done all those things, but it's not the right thing. Every day we have a time. This is our time, like we sit and talk to you. This is so they will expect, oh, I'm going to tell this to my mama. I'm going to tell this to my dad. They will expect that time. So you need to create that like spirit where you can sit and talk. And when you cook, like what our women do, like specifically like our culture women, Asian culture women, we don't like work with our children. We say we can do our work.
But I welcome them to my kitchen. I used to say come and join. I used to give chores also. The second one
so
loved
kind
to do
of
kitchen
like
works and everything.
Kind of today, like I have done like my days, like when I wanted to make wanted to make Sri Lankan rotis. You know rotis, right? Like pol roti we call in Sri Lanka. So tenga roti என்று சொல்லுவோம். அப்ப that roti what we do is we all like we all like somebody have to like measure the flour, somebody have to like measure it will be messy and bit like too much work for you, but sometimes it's very enjoying.
They will enjoy.
They will come with the like solutions and they will make a shapes. Like you need to be creative with them. Sometimes you have to do things like that. When you start doing those kind of occupying them, they will not think about, they don't have time to think about like these gadgets a lot, right? And also they don't have time to think about you're not giving enough time for them. You don't do that and this like that. They don't have it. But now it's like, what happens is now your child, since your child is like have started all these things, maybe like you have to give more attention to her, sit with her, talk to her, and identify. Maybe like since she's a girl, You can do hairstyles to her, stick together and do a hairstyle, special hairstyles. Okay. And then things like that, very creative kind of like things like that. My girl is only like, 4 years old, but we both like go to like, shopping, and we buy like, tiny clips. And then we say, this is good for mom, this is
We
good
used
for
to do
like,
that, but
girl.
because of nowadays she is ignoring us. She don't like to involve these things. Whenever we invite her to a chat, or she is not giving importance for that one. That is the thing.
Maybe like, in that case, if she's severe condition, of course you need to speak to a psychologist. That's the best option for you. Other than that, I guess you would be able to manage your child, because she's quite small. And whatever you said, kind of like, when it is like circumstances changes, when the circumstances changes, the children behave in a different way. So for example,
she is lazy from childhood, but nowadays she is too much. She don't want to bath. She don't like to bath. Oh, those things and all. So much giving pain for me. Because I am also studying, my husband also studying. We have not enough time, but we manage to give time for them. We speaks to them. Sometimes I used to sleep with her to comfort her. Sometimes not every day, but sometimes when she need, I try my level best.
Maybe if you find hard to like, control her and manage her, maybe you could take her to like speak to her and like, and speak to her specifically, and take her to a counselor or psychologist. That would help you. Other than that, I guess you can manage all those things, because there are instances, specifically COVID situation. Children are very scared. Lots of things happen around us. We are very vulnerable to our like, our future. What will happen to us? Once, like I live in UK. Okay, we have friends here. We don't have family here. So I don't have my husband's family side, or my family side. No one lives close to my house. So we had a neighbor close to, like when we were like, when we were informed about lockdown, we were really shocked about it. Like, how are we going to manage? How do we go shopping? And then me, like my husband became like more vulnerable to like, like things. He started thinking about, my family will be affected. If I touch something, it will go on to me, and my children will like, get that, and things like that. He became very, very conscious about it. Right? And it's a normal thing. I don't think like it's like, you shouldn't be conscious about it. So it was happened for us, like, and we I mean, he goes for like, he doesn't allow us
other thing is when we take the device from her, then she started to say that I am bored. Whenever I say it's okay to be bored, just sit and think what you can do, what is the skill you can learn, or you can read a book. Whenever I give any suggestion, she is not interested to take it.
I think you have not like given at the beginning those kind of habits to her. One of the things, like, you would have not started.
No,
that.
she was earlier. She was very, very much fond of books. She used to read lot of books. She loved to go to library. Nowadays, we can't go to library because of it's closed because of the pandemic situation. But
Where
we
do you
bought
live, by
books
the way? Are you living in Sri Lanka or
No,
Doha?
Doha.
So Doha, you can't go anywhere else.
No, we can go, but we can't go shopping malls or anything like that. But we can go.
You can buy books in the. You can buy books.
We bought books online and gave to her. It's piling up, but I don't know. She's getting enough time to
I think
read those
maybe
books.
you should find a psychologist for her. That's the best option for you, because somehow it looks like, for me, somehow she's not used to some kind of like, some kind of active work and practical work, as well as she's not used to other things. So that's why she's connected to like very much connected to, because I mean, as like I have that age children, and I've seen like a lot of children who is connected to like different work. So I think she is not connecting herself to that kind of a thing.
Yes, we
so
bought.
If she can connect herself,
whether she will like it or no, we don't know. We just want to try to give her stitching kit. Only 2-3 stitches she tried. After that, she kept it. She said she don't want to try.
Okay. So maybe you may have to like, try that with them.
Yeah. Ma'am, another thing is it is difficult to go to psychologist here because of the pandemic situation. Hospitals are open only for the emergency services. So
you can like do online services. You can find online services and like, go.
Madam,
go
do you
to them.
have online services? Are you practicing online services, ma'am? Because I put a message for you.
Well, I don't promote myself here actually. This is not a place to do that. But what you could do is there are online services available in one of like different organization. If you go online and search, you will find that those information, and it's not suitable for me to promote myself here, and it's like very expensive as well. That's another thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your nice time.
That's okay. No problem at all. No problem at all. Is there anybody who would like to talk about the COVID situation and other situations? Would you mind, like, raise your hands, or we can go to like, other part of that thing, the topic. Yeah, 29th of July. And coming Tuesday, we will be having a similar, like, we are going to talk about.
Shall I share the flyer?
Yeah, you can share the flyer if you, yeah. So what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the virtual learning and young children's mental health and their like, parents' concern. That's what we are going to do. So this is the flyer. At the same time, can you share? Can you unmute Muhammad Rais? Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am Mrs. Muhammad Rais from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Program seems to be really interesting and very useful. I'll come to the question directly. Yeah, alhamdulillah. I have 3 kids. My eldest is 7 years old. He seems to be quite generally say he's a good child. But the thing is, when now suppose we say, I feel like the same question like what you all were discussing earlier also is much when we now suppose don't give the phone or don't let him use the desktop or a laptop like other than for his online classes, for example to chat with his friends or maybe to play some minor games like car games or something like that, he gets really aggravated, really, and his actions like turn out really strange. He jumps, screams. Like sometimes.
So how does he behave? Like,
that's what I say now. If and for example, you say like simply sometimes we have come to agreements like, okay, if you do these things, these for example, like do read these. Now he has 14 subjects in his school to study. He's in grade 6.
How old is he?
So he's 11 years old. He's in grade 6.
11 years old and 14 subjects he has to study.
13, almost 13 to 14 subjects, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh no! Like, where does he study, by the way? Is it like a government school or?
No, it's a semi-government school. He studies in English medium, and he is almost like he is not like a very poor, weak child. He's like he can catch up well if he's really he's master in his like computer skills and all. He does certain things. He can do. Right. So the thing is, now if we ask, if I simply request, okay, Baba, you go and, okay, I say his name and say, do this, definitely we will give you maybe half an hour. But at the time we say him to study or take a book and just read few pages, because once you get the exams online, it will be not easy. Okay. See, grade 6 is not mine, a little very few subject. You just, we don't force much. Generally we say, okay, go just read this. Then we will give for these devices which you ask for a particular time. His actions are really, so he screams that we feel very bad, and sometimes he loses the respect towards us also. And he's another matter, ma'am, I want to say he's a very poor eater. He doesn't like to eat much food.
What does he do then? Like usually, how much do he eat and
he
how?
eats very less. And he, if I'm to say, he's very lean also. In that matter also, we went to some doctors before the pandemic, like last year, and we went for some nutritionist also. But they said like he seems to be fine, but still he looks a bit weak. Only thing you have to maximize. Only time we have to increase 1 or 2 kilos maximum, then he will be fine. But he looks very lean. And he gets tired also. And another thing, doctor, ma'am, I want to say, like, he drinks a lot of water, then he like passes it out also.
That's a good thing.
He drinks a lot of water, and then he uses you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. And when he's too excited, like when he's happy, we have noticed he doesn't do that. Then we thought it's something wrong with his whether he has some insulin problem.
I think does it started like during after this pandemic, isn't it?
No, not during the pandemic, before the pandemic. So during 2018, we were like thinking it's not normal. And then we went for there's a hospital here only for children. So we thought of going there, and we checked random blood sugar also we checked, not fasting, but random blood sugar that seems to be within the average, within the range. His, thyroid is also within the range. He's fine.
It's connected to mental health. In that case, is that so?
That's what like we think it might be that.
Right. So I am going to ask a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, about him. So
yeah.
The first thing I say, he has lots of things to do on a day. Okay.
Yes,
so his score is very high. So first thing, have you made a timetable for him? Like, in a day, how many hours he has to study, how many hours he has to work on, like how many hours he has, time for him to play and have gadgets. I mean, playing is different for screen time. Screen time is different. So how many hours screen time include TV and like all the work, other things.
Online work.
Online. No, don't count it as screen time, online work. I'm only saying about his leisure, playing time.
Okay.
Yeah. So have you put because what happens is nowadays after lockdown, most of the things you have to do online. So when you have to do online, what you have to do, usually what we suggest like parents, what they have to do is they have to schedule their time. First thing, you need to sit with them and say, you have to have an agreement with them. Okay. You have to sit down, spend a day to sit down and schedule your days, yours and your child and your husband's. And your husband have to put a lot of input on that as well. Okay.
Exactly.
So both of you, as as a father, parents means both father and mom. Like a lot of times, we depend on mother most of the time.
Yes.
So which is not right. Father has to give time for the child as well, and mom have to give time for the child, and it has to be a quality time, but where you spend this time for him. This is only his time. So that kind of thing. Other thing, you need to like, sit with him and have an agreement, like, mutual understanding with both you, your husband and him, saying these are his timetable working. This is how you work. So he helps you in the kitchen. He helps you cleaning. He helps you doing like, work kind of like, I don't think it's a feasible thing to study for that age child, kind of like, 12, 11 subject. So for a day, he can study one or two
Very few
subjects.
lessons in each subject. It's very few lessons, but subject wise, it's like 13 subjects.
Yes. So what you could do is like, you can manage like, within like course of a day or 2 weeks time, you can like, kind of like, break everything into giving a small portions for him to understand, and very regular breaks for him. And kind of eating means you have to like, I mean, usually you don't look like, a healthy child doesn't have to be a fat child. A healthy child has to be a normal child. Even if he's lean, no problem. It's good to drink like a lot of water, but like, he has to eat like healthy, kind of like, right proportion of protein, fat, and like, vegetables and all kind of like other nutritions. I don't have to say as a mother, know what are the nutritions for a like balanced food. So you need to manage that, and his sleeping time and exercise. Again, exercise. He really have to need an exercise at least for an hour of exercise. So you really need all those all those things to be like, planned and do as per it is. So maybe try that. Maybe you might like, get a like, different on him. Sit down and like, have a like conversation with him, and do a like, schedule for everything, like big schedule, and maybe based on your like, thing, and give lots of colors and things like that, and do, because we are very concerned to have our houses very clean and nice and everything. We don't want to paste things and things like that. We do have all those habits, isn't it? As a mother, we also trained as such, like when we were small. So, so try and like, have all those things on the wall, and make him happy as well. Make him happy. So he will be like, calm down, I guess, as you said. It was not a very serious thing, as when you were saying for me. I mean, that age, there are few things you have to consider. Like when it is like 11 and a half, 12 years time, they become like, they would have like faced their puberty. So if it's a boy, so yeah, the puberty, that is the age they become like, pubertized.
I understand.
So
Even a boy.
Sorry?
No. I guess like it's even a boy, that age is the age like they start.
Yes, the children, boys or girl, they become pubertized, and they become pubertized around like, 8 to 16 years. Between that age, they will become pubertized some way. Okay. Different children become like different age. So this is the high age time. Like you would have not noticed it, because like we call it as like what is that, wetting in the night, kind of like that kind of a thing. So if you have seen his trousers or something, you would be having
I haven't yet noticed, but it's a good thing that you make me notifiable. I haven't noticed yet, because I do notice those.
Those are things you have to speak to your child as well, sister. Because what happens is the child will not understand that. It will be a big thing if he like come across first, and like, he doesn't know what has happened. He has like, wet dreams, and he will end up like thinking, I have like, urinated in my pants. Because he doesn't know anything in Sri Lanka. You don't have like, sexual education. So that's the thing. You have to speak to your child as a mother. So you should inform him what is it and all kind of things. I think about that.
Yes,
So,
yes, I understand.
yeah, so you have to speak about it. And this is the time they fight with, like, what happens is they think like I'm going to be a big boy. I'm a big boy. They fight with their identity. They wanted whether I have to act as a big person or a small person. He has doubt about it.
Confusion.
That's why
Right,
confusions. Those
right.
confusions only as you said, he shout and scream thing,
He does
scream.
that.
He becomes angry. The girls also it's the same thing. This as like sister earlier, like I think Sister Nushra was speaking.
Yeah,
Her,
exactly. I
her
just want
child
to
is
ask, sorry to interrupt you, how old that girl was, ma'am? Earlier you were discussing, is she around 8 years or more than, like almost
no,
in
the
her
same age like as your child, I think, those age group. So
ah.
those age group, what they happens is they also become active. So there's lots of like confusions nowadays, isn't it, for them? They have lockdown and like COVID symptoms. There are lots of people are dying for no reason, don't know whether it can be his father or mother one day. One of the things can happen, isn't it? So they are scared. How you are scared, the same way, 100% more than that, like they are scared. Do you get it?
Yeah.
They do listen to like news, they do listen to everything, and they are very confused about lots of things. So as a parents, what happens is you have to give support, not about complaining about them. You have to say, not about saying labeling them. You are like that, you are shouting, you are doing this, you are doing that. You shouldn't say those things to your children. Okay, it's okay, you're doing it, it's fine. But why are you doing it? What is the purpose? How can I change it? Ask them. Those questions, ask them. Sit and ask them, how can I change it? How can I do it? I mean, sometimes when we have loads of work, I mean, me also, I have to work full time. My husband have to work full time, and I have to look after housework. Everything you have to do by your hand, isn't it?
Exactly.
As a mother, you also have to do the same thing. So it's a normal thing. I think even Sister Nusra, she also has to do her everything. She has lots of pressure as well when she's studying. So things like that, it's combination of our life. And those children, you are with experience itself this much of scared, and you're vulnerable to everything. I told you, when we had informed about COVID.
Yes, exactly.
As I told you, my husband was really vulnerable to everything. When the children go and touch even a bench, he scream at the children, "Come on, don't touch it. Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do this." He says everything, isn't it? So you can see that's kind of it's very hard situation. People are just dying without any symptoms. And it's hard, how hard for you, it's the same thing for them as well. And then what happens is 1 year ago, they would have fighting with their identity and fighting as such. And now it's adding the problems are increasing with the COVID situation. As you understand, do you understand, sister? Hello? Yeah, she's muted herself. Yeah, these are things we have to consider about it, and we have to look after our children. So maybe I think that sister would have understood much. And if anybody else wanted to speak, no, yeah. So we may watch the time wise how it is working, Shahir. Shahir. Hello. Hello. Everybody's like, muted themselves. Hello. Okay. Maybe like, maybe look for the time. Yeah. So it's like, almost 1.5 hours we have passed. And then I think most of the people wanted to talk and like, found like loads of information. And we also like, tomorrow we also having an event about like, anger management. I think most of our people like today, whoever spoke, they all spoke about anger management, how your children are, why they're angry, well, why they're angry, how can I manage this anger, how can I change it, all kind of things. You guys spoke about it. So what we are going to do is, and 29th, we will be having a like similar chat, but we are talking about, what is that called? We will be talking about like virtual learning and like, mental health. That's the topic going to be. That will be in Tamil. Also, like, in that we will be talking about the children and their parents and how that's affecting their parents. It's going to be a chat again. I prefer you guys have to chat and like, talk to each other and share your like, feelings with each other. And it's kind of like, we just sit down and chat, that kind of thing. It's going to be on 29th again. So I wanted you guys to get used to that kind of like, events as well, not to like just to listen to me every time. And what else? There are a few things we have to share as well. Shahid seems to be like, going in and out. His maybe I will like, unmute Fatima to talk. Yeah. Shahir is also like,
Yeah. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, sister. I spoke to you earlier. Hello.
That's okay.
Another
You can
small
speak
thing. I'm
again.
sorry to take your time.
No, that's
I
okay.
just
It's all
want to know my son is his weight. He's onto the overweight side, ma'am. He is actually 51 kilos, 11 plus and 51. So I'm really worried about his weight. Could you just advise me a little, like how can I restrict his, because he tends to overeat even though he knows he has to limit. He feels shy about his weight.
How old is he?
He's 11 plus, ma'am.
Has he developed any like, eating habits as such, or like, he's eating for any like, any emotional imbalance because of that, like
That's he's a person who gets angry, but his eating is always overeating. His limit is sometimes more than mine. He tends to eat. So when he says hungry, I also feel bad to stop him. He always says he's hungry whenever I serve him.
Have you started like, feeding him water first? Because what happens
yeah,
is,
ma'am. Yeah, I have that habit since he's small. Like I tell him to drink a glass of water before eating to control his weight. Like when I felt his weight has always been beyond the margin, ma'am. But now, like maybe because of this pandemic, he's confined to the house. He has gained more. So that's like really too much, right? 51 at this age.
Yeah. So what you could do is like, you can try some exercise with him. And sometimes like look at his like, he like, balancing to
So he is very active.
Emotion with eating.
Food. Okay, ma'am, sure.
Sometimes some children, what happens when they become angry or like, depressed or like stressed up, they start eating. So they develop an eating habit, and which will gain more as well. So that's look at him, like how he is doing, why he is eating, kind of. But if he's an active boy or something, that age, if he's like, eating a lot and being very active, it's good. But like concern about like, eating like sweets, reduce your like, sweet consumption at your house, and like fried food, those consumption at your house, those kind of things, like, reduce a lot of carbohydrates, reduce the carbohydrates. So like, yeah, if you want to like, feed him like, a meat or something, bake the meat and feed him, don't fry it, kind of that kind of
Usually meals, he also like, he has, alhamdulillah, he has the understanding that the food which he has carb, he needs to reduce, like that kind of thing. But when he starts, even though he says I will eat less, when he starts eating, he cannot limit himself.
Yeah, he has to, I mean, you have to train
and
him.
then he regrets, then later on he'll tell, I should have eaten.
You have to train him, otherwise go to a psychologist, which will help you like, to reduce eating habits. Yes, maybe do something like that, which will help you.
So that is, do you feel it's like a psychological problem, ma'am, eating too
The
much?
eating habits, like, there are like, eating disorders are psychological disorders.
Sure,
It
ma'am.
develops due to like, their emotional imbalance. They like, satisfy themselves by eating.
Okay.
Yeah, when they are stressed too much, people eat a lot. Sometimes when they are stressed too much, people eat less as well.
He is a child who gets stressed, so don't know because of that.
So you may like, you should like look into that as well.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Jazakallah
Good luck with
khairan. I'm
that.
sorry for taking your
That's
time.
okay. It's a pleasure actually, no problem. Maybe what happens is we will ask one of our like, who is that? One of our one of the coordinators. He has something he has sent us. So right, we did that. Shahid, wait for a while. Right, okay, have done. So you can share the information now. You okay, Shahid?
Okay, please wait. Yeah, okay, please wait.
Okay. So till Shahir, like, find things like what I was trying to say is this person, his name is Brother Rizwan, I think. He is this is like World Forum for like Sri Lankan Muslims. So he is our co-coordinator. He wanted to share some information with you guys.
Shall I read?
Yes, please.
World Forum for Sri Lankan Muslims. The need and the urgency to form a united world body of Sri Lankan Muslim was conceptualized by a few community leaders after discussion and deliberation among a group of like-minded Sri Lankan Muslims across the world. World Forum for Sri Lankan Muslims, WFSLM, was established as an alliance body to bring together all overseas Sri Lankan Muslim organizations and individuals to have a unified voice in matters concerning the Muslims living in Sri Lanka. WFSLM, as an independent political body, will harness all over resources of the Sri Lankan Muslims diaspora and strengthen the collective voice to build reinforce the foundation of pluralistic, democratic, and prosperous society in Sri Lanka. Visit our website www.wfslm.org. Get to know the variety of activities that can let you expand on a given topic on regional basis. Imagine various ways you can contribute and share your thoughts and ideas with the global Muslim diaspora. If you are living in Sri Lanka or Sri Lankan residing overseas, please join the free subscription on our website. Subscribe to WFSLM. I'll share this in the chat box. Please wait.
Yeah, when yeah, this was his information. However, like, I think like we have already spoken whatever we have to speak, and if there's anything else like, you guys really wanted to say, you can say. At the meantime, we're going to give some announcement about like, our future programs and like, our services. So usually what happens is, like in the like as we informed about like earlier, we will be having like anger management and what is that anger management and aggression, like how people get aggressed and how to manage anger. This topic will be tomorrow same time, so I'll be speaking in Tamil. This will be a Tamil program. And we also like, will assess you guys, like, we will assess you about it. I will assess you how much angry you get in 2 weeks time, those kind of information, and how you can manage your anger. I will give you enough advice and like, psychological means and ways. I will do that. Other thing we will be doing about like, 29th is our other program. We will be going to do about, what is that called? The other program will be, it's a similar chat program. We're going to do a similar chat program, which is on 29th, same time. And we are going to do the virtual learning and mental health of children, young children and their parents. So I prefer to speak like it's this time. What happens is this today, you guys only parents spoke or only child spoke. But it's very nice if any of you can speak. If any of you can speak, parent and children can speak and share your experience and have a mutual understanding about like, how it is working, that kind of an experience would be very nice. Maybe you can try it. It's up to you. You decided how you wanted that event to be, but I will be doing this in Tamil. So yeah, like join with us. And in future, like, there will be another, like, our every monthly English event that will be, we will be talk about. We haven't like, we just have planned sometimes, have planning that it will be on, hopefully it will be on 11th on the same time. And we will be informing on the Mindlizam group, WhatsApp group on what is the topic. So after we finalize the English session. So the other thing what we do is like, this is one of the like, services, free services we offer to everybody who wanted my services to be given. What I do is like, this is the number, like in the number you can see like 07774 38 4166 80. That's the number. You can message me, like, I prefer like to listen you than like reading your messages. It's good for me to like listen. So if you can send me, if you can't like send me a voice cut, it's okay. I can read it, no issue at all. And then after I listen to your message, I will call you personally and like, give you if needed. Otherwise, I will send you a message, as well as if it is like, useful thing for everybody, I will make a video and I will not like, I will maintain all your like privacies and everything. And I will publish on our YouTube channel, like Mindlizam YouTube channel. I will publish it, and I will also publish on all our WhatsApp and Telegram and like, Facebook channels. So you can go and see that. And in the chat box, Shahir will be like, sharing all the like, links to my group. So yeah, you can join that. So hopefully, like, we have done, like, we are on the end of the session, and the main, like, sponsors and, like, co-coordinators are like our co-coordinators are Tasbih Media and Mindlizam. Mindlizam is like, the group I run. Tasbih Media is a different group, like I coordinate with them, as well as, like, the World Forum for Sri Lankan Muslims. So they are one of the new people, like, we've been like co-coordinating with them. So this is how we work. So, like, I have said everything what I wanted to say. If you guys want anything to say apart from that, I will wait for your messages for a few minutes, and then we will like wind up. Hopefully, is that fine? Yeah. What is this? Who is that, Mr. Ikram? Why have you given this the email address of Mr. Ikram, gmail.com? I don't know why he has given. So that you could ignore, like, it's up to you, whatever you can do with that.
He's promoting himself.
I know. Anyway, yeah, you can.
Shall we finish?
Anis Maulana had asked, like, can you give, I think he's asking about the psychological support. I don't know what exactly the support, Anis Maulana, you wanted. So what you could do is you can message me on this number where the flyer, on the flyer, you can message me and ask from me what the support you wanted. That's okay. Yeah, what we could do is, like, we will say wind up this event today, and Assalamu alaikum, and good evening to everybody. And thank you very much for all the, like, our coordinators and Shahir and whoever like, been a participated with us.